But I chose to do mine on a canoe trip that I took with my dad. I can't tell you what I did last week, but I remember every single day on this canoe trip. It was 6 days, 5 nights on the Missouri River. It was 200 miles, just me and my dad. We had nothing. There was no cell phone, no watch, no technology, no people, no plumbing, nothing. 6 days. I was 13 years old at the time, and being taken away from my cell phone for that long, that was really, really traumatic. And I was scared if we'd get lost, they wouldn't be able to find us. We're somewhere within this 200-mile distance on the Missouri that's never been traveled before. But yeah, it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It took so much physical strength, mental strength, everything from me. But I learned a whole lot from it, lessons that I'll take with me till the day I die. Not having anything, I gained a lot more appreciation for what I have. Probably the best shower of my life when I finally got home. Oh God, hot water, it was amazing. I missed my mom a whole lot. I went crying home to mommy when I got done because I was just so tired and done with this trip. But we blew up an air mattress every single night. We found a camp spot, set up our camp. One of my favorite ones we have in here, it's our canoe in the front, our tent, and my dad just chilling. Funny thing is, we had this air mattress and one of the mechanical ones that are supposed to blow it up itself so you don't have to use your own air or pump. Well, it died the first night, and for whatever reason, I got designated the person that got to blow up this great big air mattress every single night for the rest of the trip. And it sucked, so we got kind of lazy and left it halfway blown up and bungee corded it down to the middle of the canoe. You can see it in one of these pictures here. And when we'd stop and take breaks, I'd take a nap on it, But it wasn't very aerodynamic, and I'm pretty sure it slowed us down a lot. Yeah, it was pretty great. But we ate backpacker pantries every single night. I don't know if you guys know what they are. They come in these little plastic bags. They're freeze-dried food. They're amazing. If you don't have anything else to eat, they are great. You boil up some water, hot water, and you eat them straight out of the bag. We have lasagna. They have dessert dishes like ice cream. We didn't try it. I don't know how you do liquefied ice cream, but yeah, they were great. We did backpacker pantries every night, except for one night. My dad packed us a steak and potatoes, to reward us after our first couple nights of working really hard. And so he had this plastic plates. We had it over the fire. They were all done, right? He's getting ready to take them off, and he dropped this fat, juicy steak in the sand, and his heart just dropped. I've never heard my dad cuss that many times in my entire life. It was the whole trip was just ruined. And in the meantime, so he takes the steak, walks out to the middle of the river, starts rinsing it off, and he's throwing it around because he's angry, right? Half of it flies out into the middle of the river, and this great big catfish comes out of the water and snatched it. And it was it was crazy because we worked so hard for it. We were so excited, and then it was just gone. We couldn't do anything but laugh about it. It was tough. And in the meantime, while we were worrying about the steak, he burnt the potatoes that were on the fire. So we had another backpacker pantry that night. But yeah, if I realize I can survive an entire week on the river with nothing at all, then I think I can make it through anything. It made me a lot stronger person. Every single day was a struggle. We had to dig so hard, so much physical strength on the canoe, because the wind was coming at you. We woke up with a headwind straight for us every day. And if we weren't digging to get upstream or get downstream, it was sending us back upstream. So it was really tough. My dad, he was gonna put a plaque on here in the bottom. It said dig. That was our battle cry. He yelled at me trillions of times throughout that trip. Dig harder, I'm doing all the work back here. So I had to work my butt off every single day. Sun was beating down on us nonstop too. It's reflecting off the water just like the middle of July. It was so hot, we had gallons of sunscreen, but it still wasn't gonna help, You can cover everything up and we still got fried. So hot, and sweat at night after getting sunburned. Required all of my physical strength. But without the challenging days, there was also some really cool days that we did stuff that wasn't expected. We were riding down the river and we'd see names carved into these embankments on the sand, And we thought it was really strange. We wondered how long they'd been there for, so we stopped. And we took our oars, you know, from our canoe. And in this picture, this is probably one of my favorite ones. I carved my name into the side of the embankment, and it's me looking all tough, you know, because I'm a tough guy on the river. That's one of my favorite ones, and my dad put Missouri Dad or something, and I got a good picture of him. I wish that was on here, but he didn't put it. A lot of days were really, really discouraging. We had planned to portage over the Yankton Dam. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been there. It's really, really big, but the ones that have like the giant paddlefish that we see coming up the sides, it's kind of scary. But that was our goal, because we figured after we got to the Yankton Dam, it wouldn't be very much farther. And I remember that was our mission. We knew we were going to get there this day. We came around this corner, and I was working so hard just to get to the dam. And we came around the corner, and the horizon line and the water just disappeared. Like there was nothing to look forward to. You can see in this picture, you can't tell where the water ends and the sky begins. And that was probably the most discouraging point of the whole trip. I just broke down. I started bawling. I was pissed. And my dad felt bad because he's like, just a little longer, we're almost there, it'll be fine. And then nothing. So we decided to take the rest of the day off. We found a really cool beach, made some snacks, had a bonfire every night. But yeah, we had to relax after that to prep ourselves. When we finally did get to the dam, it was really hard. We had to take everything out of the canoe. We had 2 coolers, gallons of, you know, fresh water and food and stuff like that. We had to take both of those out, walk them over the dam, across the road, down to the other side, and then carry our canoe. You wouldn't think it would be that heavy with nothing in it, but it was. It was ridiculous. And I was 13 years old, and I was not happy. It was really, really difficult. And out of nowhere, this Hispanic family came running up on us, like running at us when we were coming down the hill. And my dad's like, no, they're gonna try to help us. We don't need help, we don't want help. So he's like, pick it up, let's go. So we're like booking it, right? They come running up on us and grab the sides of the canoe and like, we thought you guys were in the Amazing Race. We were gonna help you. We're like, oh, no, please don't. We can't accept help or it won't be our trip, you know? So that was a pretty comedic relief through that day. About halfway through the trip, we came out to this part of Missouri that was unchanneled because there was no houses, no civilization, nothing was built around it. You know, people didn't go out there, so they didn't have a specific channel made. There was nothing on the sides. It was just beach and sand and river. And we were in the very, very middle, a mile of river on both sides of us, walking our canoe across the middle of it. There was like 3 inches of water. You could see your feet. There's a picture of my dad here. He's dragging the canoe and all of our stuff. We didn't do that for very long, thank God, because I couldn't drag it the whole time. It took a lot of courage for me to keep going through the whole thing, especially after realizing we had so much farther to go. But being out there all day long with nothing to do but dig gave you a lot of time to think, gave me a lot of time to talk to my dad, just us. We were going through a really rough time before that, so it gave us a lot of time to kind of reconnect, you know, and get to know each other better. I heard a whole bunch of stories from when he was a kid that probably would have never been passed to me had we not been stuck in a canoe for hours on end every day. But I feel like I got to know him a lot better and myself as well. We experienced a lot of really cool things out there too. Just us in the middle, and out of nowhere this great big bald eagle came down and dove right in front of us and snatched up this huge fish. Took it up into a tree. We watched this eagle just demolish this fish right in front of us, and it was so cool because you don't see that a lot, you know. I mean, especially if you're living in the city, it's not as common no more. But that was pretty special. Another thing scared the hell out of me. Have you guys ever seen a sturgeon? It's like one of the most prehistoric fish. They're scary. They've got really big teeth. They look like dinosaurs. And I think they're not extinct. What's the word I'm thinking of? Yeah, they're endangered species. So they had trackers out there, and they're, you know, sturgeon trackers. They had little, I don't know, tags on them or whatever, and they'd count them to see what the sturgeon level was. We'd see them a couple of times on the river. They were just, you know, they kind of ignored us. But one time, this giant sturgeon, these things could get like 10 feet long, comes flying out of the water feet away from our canoe. I was in the front, my dad was in the back all the time because he did a lot of the steering. this fish jumped almost into our boat. It was 6 feet out of the water and still wasn't, half of its body was still in the water. And it scared me so bad. I did not want to swim again. I was done at that point. That fish could have eaten me. I was ready to be done. I wanted to go home. And there was no backing down. Like, we couldn't call, you know, and say, hey, can you come pick us up? We're here, so-and-so. We didn't even know our own coordinates. We were just trying to guess. We were trying to tell the time of the day by the sun. We got out every morning really, really early because the wind was low and the water was just like glass. It was really easy to glide on. We could put down a lot of miles. Toward the midday, the waves came up and they were coming all the way over the top of my canoe, which scared me because they're not as easy to tip as you'd think, but with waves coming all the way over, I thought we'd just sink it. But we didn't, somehow. We made it. We knew when we needed to take a break because we were both getting way too antsy, way too aggravated with each other. But yeah, it was definitely the hardest thing I've ever done. I know myself better. I realized the determination that I have, even though I was put in a situation where I didn't have a choice. My own physical endurance, I had no idea I'd be able to go through that. And I didn't bitch about it the whole time because I knew there was nothing that I could have done. You know, my dad couldn't help me. We were in the same boat together, you know. It was pretty great. And this one right here in the middle, it's not that great of a picture, but the story behind it's cool. It was the last night we were out there, and we found the most beautiful camping spot. It was perfect. And we were sitting up, there's another picture over there too. We had everything set up, you know, our tent and everything, and we were sitting around the fire just talking. And these two deer, like off in the distance, were walking, swimming, I don't know, across the river. We could just see their heads. And then the mom and the baby deer came out and parked up on our island that we were on that night and shared the island with us. I thought it was pretty cool. We experienced a lot of nature stuff that you wouldn't see regularly, you know. It's pretty cool. But I gained a new appreciation for everything I have. Only having one extra pair of clothes to change into, no shower, no plumbing, no hairbrush. Oh my gosh, my hair was a mess when I got home. I looked like a cave woman. But yeah, there's a lovely picture of that here. This is my victory shot that my dad took in front of canoe. You can see the Sioux City Bridge in the background, and I'm so excited to be home, and I'm so relieved. And that's all I was thinking about the whole time. It's just, I can't wait to get home. I can't wait to get home. I miss my bed. I miss my bed. And yeah, even though it was the hardest thing I've ever done, I will never forget it. I learned so much from it. And I feel like I'm a better person now because of it.